Yo, it's Zero, and I hope you all are having a great day. Today, I'll try to bring you guys a series that may be slept on, as many people don't like this anime, but it's actually not as bad as they make it out to seem. And it contains so many characters that it could be used in what ifs. This will be What If Naruto Was the King of Dragons, a story that may shock many of you, as Naruto won't be the same as how he usually is, but before any of that, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A lot of you watch my videos but aren't subscribed yet, which causes you to miss them when they first drop. Also join the Discord, and without any more wait at all, let's get started.
Let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick. I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers. And you know 30K got the mop. Sacked up, yeah, I got them knots. Act up, get your body in a box. Told the demon, you know how I rock.
The story begins not at the age of Naruto, but at the age of Hagoromo, the sage of the six paths. As he was creating the tailed beast, he gets to the last one, the nine tails, but instead of making it a fox, he wants this to truly be a beast that represents power, and he creates a blue and black dragon, but he gave it no personality, seeing as it may be the most dangerous one. It needs to be under control. Centuries would go by as we eventually get to the attack of the dragon or the nine tails on the Leaf Village. Minato finds it troubling that they can't bring down the beast from the skies. However, they are eventually to cut a small hole in one of its wings, causing it to fall to the ground. Additionally, it lands kind of close to Minato and Kushina, allowing them to try and seal it, but it stabs them with its claws, and it begins to get sealed by an injured Minato who is using the Reaper Death Seal. But the dragon displays its knowledge and its power and its own will, creating its own personality in this very moment by sealing itself while glowing and combining its soul with Naruto on its own, which leads to the death of Minato and Kushina as usual due to their injuries. And when Hiruzen finds a baby Naruto, his hair was beginning to turn blue, as he had blue markings all over his body as well, signifying that he was the Jinchuriki of the dragon. Naruto grows up the same, the terrible living conditions, and here is where his mentality would be different. He's smarter and stronger than before. Because of the strength of the dragon, he's able to use its chakra in his own way to cast his own jutsu, and since the beast combined its soul with Naruto, he's able to utilize all of his strength, even though he's only 6 years old at this point. As he would then say, "A king should not have to live like this. I refuse to be discarded as trash." Naruto storms out of his apartment complex and walks through the Leaf Village. As usual, people would stare at him, but they can feel that something is wrong this time. A man purposely bumps into Naruto, but this man was the one who fell to the ground, surprised a little, as Naruto would say, "Watch your step, you peasant." The man looks up at Naruto, who had an evil grin on his face, and the boy begins to walk by, and as he does so, the man grabbed his leg to try to make him fall, but it didn't work. "I expect no less from people like you, so I'll do this world a favor and erase you here and now." Naruto kicks the man with his other free leg and sends him into a nearby building. People run over to see and check on the man, but he had already died. They look around for Naruto as he's nowhere to be seen, as Naruto finds a nice looking house within the leaf that was far away from the main buildings and streets. He then grabs the door handle and rips the door off, throwing it behind him. An older ninja runs to the front where the door was to see Naruto. "Get out of my house, you demon." Naruto begins to laugh. "I think you're mistaken, as this is my house, so I'll need you to leave immediately." The man rushes Naruto, but he vanishes before his very eyes as the blue-haired boy appeared right next to the man and grabbed his arm as he would break it. Such a shame that you can't listen very well. Oh, and who are you? Naruto and the ninja turn around to see his wife and his newborn son in the room as well. Naruto, please, shut your mouth. Naruto then cuts off his tongue of the man, leaving him on the ground bleeding, but he's still alive. This was thanks to Naruto's healing magic. The man then watches in horror as Naruto kills his family and then kills him. This house will do for now. I don't plan to stay here long anyway. Naruto continues to do as he pleases within the Leaf Village for months until the villagers get fed up with him, and one day they all decide to go to his home and burn it while he was sleeping. Or so they thought. To their shock, Naruto walks out of the building perfectly fine. You idiots, do you truly believe I could die to something like that? Someone then throws a kunai at the boy, but it can't even draw blood or pierce his skin, as it would break when it lands. Since you all have forgotten who I am, let me remind you. Naruto begins to glow a bright blue, jumping into the sky, as the Hokage himself looks up in the sky to see it as well. No, it can't be. Not at a time like this. Did they really just kill Naruto? Naruto then fully transforms into a dragon, looking down at the village. Everyone starts to panic, and people run away from the area screaming in horror. The people who can fight up, well, they step up to fight and launch jutsu, but they can't even pierce his skin once again, as his skin is resistant to the elements. This causes many of the taijutsu users to try and get close by jumping off of buildings. However, they are blown back to the ground by Naruto's wings alone, as he hasn't even done any attacks yet. But the roar of the dragon echoes through the lands as it begins to prepare its own attack. The wings of the beast spread out, as the sky would then be filled with stars that are behind him. These stars glow and send down beams of blue energy that would go to destroy the village. Everything then stood still, as nothing happened surprisingly. The beams of light were frozen in place by the time magic of the dragon. These very same beams would then break and disappear or fly back into the sky, as vanishing from sight, as did the dragon. Hiruzen sits down in his chair, relieved that the attack had stopped. But how did it stop, he would say to himself. By me, of course, you old fool. Hiruzen turns around, shocked to see Naruto was alive, believing he had died in the fire that the villagers had did when they burned his home. Naruto grabs the man by his collar. So, you knew, didn't you? I should kill you right now and take your place. But I'm not ready for war just yet. What do you mean, Naruto? Isn't it simple, old man? I want war. Carnage. I want to see blood taint the air and make it red. Battles that get me exhilarated to fight anyone who comes to me. All of it. That is all I wish for. Just the thought of it gets my heart pumping and my fists ready. But to do that, I have to cause chaos between the villages. And that is harder than I initially thought. No matter, it will get done. Very soon, too. So prepare yourself for the inevitable. Your death. Hiruzen stands up, watching Naruto teleport away, as a couple more months would go by, and one night, Naruto is awoken by the smell of blood. On the other side of the village, the Uchiha clan massacre was beginning, and as a masked man slashed through a sleeping man, he felt it. A cold pressure was now present in the area, and it was right behind him. He would turn around to see Naruto with long hair staring at him. And who are you? Why does it matter? Just let me join in on the fun. The masked man was confused, but thought it would be a good idea, and maybe he could use Naruto in some way, so he agrees, nodding his head. Naruto then disappears and goes through the homes of the Uchihas, demolishing them, even waking some of them up so they could fight him, killing them without regret, in the worst way possible. He was stomping heads, breaking limbs, even torturing them, and even worse than that I can't even say on YouTube. Naruto was truly a monster, and he couldn't be stopped. When the masked man found him, His hair was stained with blood, as was every piece of clothing that he had on. "I love this," he would say, "but I know war will be so much more fun once I obtain it." "Oh, war is what you seek. Well, I might be of some use to you then." "Is that so?" While I'm listening, Naruto would then sit down on a man's corpse. The masked man then explained the Akatsuki and his goals for a war by taking the tail beast. Naruto then smiles while pointing at his chest. "There's a major flaw in your plan. I'm a tailed beast, or a Jinchuriki as you say, that cannot be taken from its tailed beast, as I've created a seal that makes my body immune to other seals, meaning that you cannot split the souls of me and the dragon, as we are now one." The masked man would then call Naruto's bluff, believing it not to be true. "So you're saying I'm lying? And here, I thought we could have been great partners." Naruto appears in front of the masked man and swings his fist, trying to strike him down, but he warps away just in time. Inside the Kamui dimension, the masked man takes off his mask and falls to one knee, coughing out blood. The pressure of the punch itself was enough to deal damage to him, as this is when he hears a familiar voice. "Oh, what's wrong? Don't tell me you've given up already." Obito looks up to see Naruto. "How did you? I have abilities that are very similar to your own. Now, make sure that you are useful to me. Got it?" Naruto glared at Obito, performing a new ability that he created himself, King's Glare, which forces an immeasurable pressure on an opponent, forcing them to the ground, making them obey the words of the caster / Naruto. Obito bows and nods, agreeing to Naruto's plan. The boy walked over to Obito, lifting his head up so that their eyes would meet, and Obito's whole body would shake in fear, seeing how truly terrifying the eyes of Naruto's were, as his glare was worse than Madara Uchiha. Naruto leaves the dimension and returns to the Uchiha clan compound, looking around for any more people. He was then confronted by Danzo and his Anbu. "What a pain. What do you want, Danzo?" "So, you were here as well, you monster. You'll regret that arrogant tone of yours, old man." The Anbu rush at Naruto, and he can already sense that they're going to try to seal him, so he dodges them, jumping onto a rooftop and looks down at them. "Let me ask you all, if a dragon faces down one ant and he crushes it below his feet, what happens when multiple ants team up together and try to face him?" Well, do any of you have an answer? They all stayed silent until Naruto, his eyes would begin to glow, as soon the rest of his body would as well, as with the flick and snap of his fingers, all of Danzo's Anbu, the ones that were there, their necks were snapped. They all get crushed. And then Naruto would say this: "They are all crushed, but I had my fun for the night, so consider this a warning not to fight me again, Danzo." Naruto leaves the area and goes to a bathhouse to clean himself up, and from here until the actual start of Naruto, nothing significant would happen. He doesn't attend the academy because no one can make him go. Actually, I take that back. One thing during the time skip actually did happen, and before the regular timeline of Naruto, Naruto would actually meet up with the Akatsuki and join them as an undercover agent within the Leaf Village. But that would be all. So Naruto wakes up in the Hokage's building, walking around, as he goes to Hiruzen's office with only his cape and his pants on. Walking in, he interrupts a meeting between Hiruzen and Kakashi. The Jonin looks down at Naruto, but Hiruzen puts his hands over Kakashi's eye. Naruto, he does not know any better. "Whatever, I didn't come here to make a mess in your terrible looking office. I came here to tell you that I'm going out to get breakfast, so try not to destroy the place while I'm gone." Alright. After Naruto leaves, Kakashi wonders why they haven't come up with a solution to control the son of Minato, but Hiruzen explains how Naruto is very different from many other Jinchuriki in the past, especially the ones who have inherited the dragon. Naruto has mastered many jutsu and he's essentially the dragon himself in a human form. And these jutsu that he mastered were forbidden, as he knows many seals as well. Nothing would work on him, well, maybe except for the Reaper Death Seal. But with 2 souls in one body, you don't know which one you would actually take. Kakashi understands, but he tells Hiruzen once again that his team only has 2 members, so we'll need to find a third for him. Why not ask Naruto? Hiruzen laughs, calling the Jonin crazy, and that might even get him killed. And that Naruto would never do anything as low as becoming a ninja. Well, that's how he sees it in his eyes. But Kakashi wants him to ask anyway, and if Naruto does want to kill someone, he tells Hiruzen to send him his way. Hiruzen sighs and tells him he'll ask, but there's no promises that he can guarantee Kakashi's safety if Naruto does get enraged. Kakashi would nod, and we go to Naruto as we see him far away from the Leaf Village in a forest, as this is where he was chasing down wild animals in a forest that were all running together trying to get away from him, as he was hunting them for food. "You can't run long. I'll catch you and I'll cook you." The wild boar makes a sharp turn as Naruto notices that's the largest out of the group, so he would turn with it and grab it. He then drags it all the way back to where he made a fire, as he would then finish up his breakfast and head back to the leaf. As he was walking, he noticed that someone was following him from a close proximity. "I know you're there, Zetsu, so come on out." "Sharp as ever, Naruto." "Nothing gets past you. Shut your filthy mouth and get to the point. Why did you come to find me?" "I just came to let you know that Pain wants to see you destroy the ninja system from inside out. That's all. Recreate the meaning of a shinobi." "You make me laugh, but I'll give it thought. It may be interesting." "Hey." "What?" "Make sure you tell Pain that if he gives me another direct order without warning me, I'll kill him." Black Zetsu's sweat will drop at this statement as he leaves the area, and Naruto returns back to Leaf in only minutes. He walks into the Hokage's office, and he opens a window, laying down feeling the breeze as he sits outside. "Naruto, what do you think about shinobi?" Hiruzen would say. "You're weak." "Is that all you have to think of us?" "Yes, inferior creatures with inferior ranks when compared to me. Your strength is laughable, and you all depend on others too much." "Well, Naruto, if that's all you think, then you're very far from what a true shinobi really is." Naruto then opens one of his eyes and looks at Hiruzen. "Oh yeah? And how would I gain the knowledge of what a true shinobi is?" Hiruzen smiles, turning to Naruto with the leaf headband within his hand. "By becoming one." And this is well in part 1 of this series. Let me know what you guys think so far, and if you do want a part 2. What do you think of Naruto's personality? Do you think that he will become a shinobi in this part? Well, the next part, and follow Pain's plan? But also, when do you guys believe that the war will start around the ninja world, especially with Naruto's aid in trying to make it happen? If you want another part to this series, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, make sure to join the Discord, as you'll get my notifications faster than if you have it on for YouTube. With all that being said, I hope you all have a great day, night, or evening, as this is Zero, and I'll catch you all on the next one.